Now then, we are all reflecting, everybody reflecting on the incredible career so far, and it continues, of Rupert Murdoch, who has announced his transition now to a new role of Chairman Emeritus of Fox Corp and News Corp. He said in a statement he's 92 years old, still going, still totally engaged with everything that's going on in the company, but he's moving to a new role, Chairman Emeritus. His son Lachlan is going to take over that role. And we all got an email earlier on, because Rupert Murdoch owns News Corp, which owns News UK, which owns TalkTV. And Rupert Murdoch wrote and said, "I'm writing to let you all know that I've decided to transition to the role of Chairman Emeritus at Fox and News. For my entire professional life, I've been engaged daily with news and ideas, and that will not change. But the time is right for me to take on different roles, knowing that we have truly talented teams and a passionate principal leader in Lachlan, who will become sole chairman of both companies. Neither excessive pride nor false humility are admirable qualities, but I'm truly proud of what we have achieved collectively through the decades," and it is many decades, it's 70 years, through the decades, "and I owe much to my colleagues whose contribution to our success have sometimes been unseen outside the company, but are deeply appreciated by me," says Rupert Murdoch. And just briefly, I want to read you what Lachlan Murdoch has said. This is the new chairman from November of News Corp and Fox Corp. "On behalf of the Fox and News Corp board of directors, leadership teams and all the shareholders who have benefited from his hard work, I congratulate my father on his remarkable 70-year career," said Lachlan Murdoch. "We thank him for his vision, his pioneering spirit, his steadfast determination and the enduring legacy he leaves to the companies he found and countless people he has impacted. We are grateful that he will serve as Chairman Emeritus and know he will continue to provide valued counsel to both companies." So there is lots going on here. Let's talk to someone who really properly knows Rupert Murdoch, and that is Adam Boulton, who is a Times Radio presenter. But Adam, I'm sure, won't mind me pointing out that for a quarter of a decade, longer actually, Adam was political editor of Sky News and had many, many times in which he was encountering and becoming a friend of Rupert Murdoch. I know you knew Lachlan as well, Adam. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, I mean, I've known Rupert Murdoch since he was about 60, you know.
A mere slip of a lad.
Bear in mind he was 92 now. He, of course, had a very big career before then, but, you know, when I first came across him, he was the driving force behind the establishment of Sky Television.
And he took a massive risk there, Adam, because people sort of forget. I mean, Sky is such an established brand now, but back in the day when you were starting out on Sky and Rupert Murdoch was starting Sky, there was a really volatile situation. There were loads of money spent on something which may not have actually worked, but actually he had the vision to know that in the longer term it would.
Well, I think it's on record that he and the company nearly went bankrupt twice trying to keep Sky going. And of course, it was the merger with the more establishment channel BSB which got it going along with the football. But the interesting thing about Rupert Murdoch is he's always been a long-term investor in his media ventures. He has been prepared to keep them going. I think arguably you could say that he saved the Sunday Times and the Times when he bought them after a lockout that the previous owners had and a strike there, that he kept newspapers going with the transformation of how newspapers are produced, taking basically the print operation away from the trade unions on site with the move to Wapping. He, of course, went on and repeated what he'd done in the UK with Sky in America, founding the controversial Fox News channel. So this is a man who has expanded and broadened the media business and employed an awful lot of journalists whose product, it has to be said, has been enjoyed by millions of people.
Absolutely, and I think that, you know, we can think of all the films that wouldn't have been made without 20th Century Fox. We can think of all the news stories that wouldn't have been broken without the Times, the Sunday Times, the Sun, all the other papers right around the world. What's he like as a person, Adam? You know him. What's he like?
Well, I wouldn't claim to be an intimate, but I have met him a number of times and had dinner with him on occasions. I mean, what I would say is he's certainly not the parody which you get in the media of a rather vulgar person, often called the dirty digger. Rupert Murdoch comes basically from the Australian upper classes. He went to Oxford. He's extremely well-mannered. He's extremely polite. And he's generally very modest in the way he deals with people, softly spoken, but knows exactly what he wants. And whenever you meet him, what he wants is information. He's always pressing you in an area that he thinks you might know about, to tell him what you think is going on, or in the case of his managers, how the various bits of his business are performing commercially. So he's not in any sense a vulgarian or a thug in the way that he's portrayed. That said, he is someone who has made a point of understanding what ordinary people outside the elites are interested in and what they want. Hence, the growth of Premier League football, hence the growth of the Sun. But it's something which changes with the times. Page 3, for example, which used to feature topless photographs of women, is a thing of the past because times have changed.
And you're right talking about football, for example. I mean, Sky Sports and the huge development of sports in this country, development of the Premier League, often down to a lot of the things he did. He can also laugh at himself as well. I remember he parodied himself in an episode of The Simpsons, a wonderful cartoon and creation which pokes fun at a lot of the establishment, which actually wouldn't exist without Rupert Murdoch either.
Well, exactly. That was a product on his television channels, and anti-establishment as it is, he never had any problems with that. Obviously, a very successful program. As you say, he did appear, I think he's appeared several times as a character in that. He's also someone who, generally speaking, has wanted to be in the background. He's not one of those bombastic proprietors that one might remember, someone like Conrad Black or Robert Maxwell, who always wanted to be in the limelight, giving you their opinions. That has never been the Rupert Murdoch style at all.
And Lachlan as well, Lachlan Murdoch, who takes over as chairman of News Corp and Fox Corp. What do you make of him? What have been your interactions with him, and what's he like?
Well, there's been as everyone knows now, a kind of modest version of Succession, the television program, as to which of Rupert Murdoch's children were likely to take over the company. And to a certain extent, Lachlan is the last man standing, because Liz Murdoch, his daughter, who's been a very successful television executive, and his son James, both, I think, indicated that they're not particularly in sympathy with the editorial direction, particularly in America, of things like Fox News. And so they've been less associated with the company. Lachlan, who I don't know so well, and is very much an Australian or an American, he's one of the children who spent the least time in the United Kingdom. He has always been very close to his father, very solicitous, looking after him as he's got older. And he has really been lined up as the obvious successor for a number of years now. So I don't think there'll be any surprise there. That said, I think it's important to note that it's a very, very difficult thing that Lachlan Murdoch is taking on, because Rupert Murdoch was unique. He was someone coming out of Australia who understood how the UK worked, and from his success building first newspapers in Australia, funding an entry into the United Kingdom, and then using that, he then understood the United States media and managed to build an empire there and become an American. I mean, there's not going to be anyone in the family, or indeed elsewhere, who bestrides, if you like, continents and modern media history in a way that Rupert Murdoch has done. And of course, also, Lachlan Murdoch is taking over at a time when, because of the fragmentation and the multiplication of the medium, because of the sort of things we're talking on now, there is downward pressure on the readership of newspapers, but also downward pressure on the viewing of on-stream television, things that moved elsewhere. So Lachlan's got a lot on his plate.
Big shoes to fill, but I'm sure he'll be a great chairman, and an incredible career from Rupert Murdoch. And it's not over yet, because he remains as chairman emeritus of Fox Corp and indeed of News Corp.